consider yourself a risk taker?
Everybody would like to consider themselves a risk taker because without risk you don't learn.
Jill, do you consider yourself a risk taker in general?
I don't consider myself a huge risk taker, but my husband is very much an entrepreneur, so I'm along for the ride.
How are you enjoying this fine day at Hollywood Beach Broadwalk?
This day is amazing. The weather, the beach, the people, can't beat it.
Sweet. Do you consider yourself a risk taker?
Not anymore, but I used to consider myself a risk taker.
In what ways? That you could speak of?
That I can speak of. I don't know. I used to be a skateboarder. I used to like risk taking in that sense. So you know, I'd ride my bike around and go to all the skate parks and everything like that when I was younger.
Are you a risk taker?
Yeah, probably so. You mean in recent times, or?
In general, or if it's changed?
Yeah. I've been in business all my life. Never worked for anyone, ever.
That's definitely being a risk taker. There's a lot of chance to make that happen.
Yeah. Every day you wake up is a risk, though, actually.
Absolutely, yeah, and people react to it differently or manage it differently. Some people are not good with managing risk in their lives. Like early on, before your first business, was it something you think in your personality where you always knew you were one to explore or take a chance? Or what led you to your first business?
There's an entrepreneurial spirit that you get, kind of, that maybe it's you don't want to take advice from other people or have a boss. Maybe that's as simple as that. You're able to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
I probably took more risks when I was younger because we're still inexperienced in life, and those risks develop your character, who you are today. So I would say when I was younger I took more risks.
His first big chance in life was getting married, of course. So that worked out pretty well. Second big chance is moving across country from Wisconsin to New Mexico. And now I still live in Albuquerque. That worked out pretty good. Third big chance is starting up a chiropractic business. That worked out good. Fourth chances is doing some minor sports teams. We've owned 2 hockey teams and 1 arena football team. Disastrous.
Well, no one bats 1,000. Is there some sense of adventure still inside that might lead to taking chances looking forward?
Yeah, I definitely want to travel the world and, you know, see different places and everything. You know, I'm willing, you know, to do, I don't know, I just like to, you know, be active in, you know, I'll go out and I'm a big fisherman. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about skydiving and stuff like that. I don't know if that's what you're exactly.
It's a form of risk, or is that more the thrill-seeking side of it?
It's kind of more of a thrill-seeking. I like that adrenaline rush that comes from activities like that.
What's the difference between someone who's a thrill-seeker versus someone who's a risk-taker?
Well, I mean, there's like with stocks, there's a risk-to-reward ratio for what you do. I mean, you can stay in bed all day and do nothing, or you can go out and try to make something happen. As far as a business person goes, that's how I look at things. A thrill seeker is someone that might be, in my estimation, is maybe careless, you know, not calculating, no plan.
Not measuring the risk.
Maybe, yeah.
The risk is unmeasured.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not a thrill seeker. I'm not, I mean, although I dive and surf and I've done things, you know, that you can get hurt doing.
When have you played it safe when you shouldn't have and maybe had missed opportunity?
When I allowed myself to do what I wanted to do. Do you want specifics?
If an example comes to mind, is always helpful.
Well, I had an opportunity of walking and speaking in love when I felt I was stabbed in the heart through infidelity, and because of that action of being wounded, I acted in what a Christian would say in the flesh, and that resulted in many people being hurt, and the desire of a person's heart is never, ever to hurt another person. But because of those actions that I took and those not necessarily words, but just your approach.
By choosing not to speak, hence playing it safe, created further consequences?
Yes, for other people as well as for myself.
If there was any one big missed opportunity in life, or any regret about a missed opportunity, what might that be?
Having another kid.
Wow. Have you ever played it safe when you shouldn't have and missed out on something?
Good question. No, I can't. There's not a particular instance that I can think of. So,
Do you have regrets? Any missed opportunities?
missed opportunity. Not really. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at and my choices I've made. I mean, I went to school. I got good grades in school and high school and everything. I like my job. I like what I do.
When have you played it safe and you shouldn't have?
Well, actually, the first couple years after this thing fell apart back in '08, I kind of didn't do anything. I mean, I just stopped, and I just stopped doing anything to figure out what I wanted to do, and that's the hardest thing to do, is to not do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came upon this trading thing, and
Were you battling boredom?
oh, absolutely. Boredom. Oh, absolutely. I'm used. To me, the hardest thing is to not do something.
What words would you give another so they could be more comfortable in the chances they might have to take in their lives?
I would say without risk, you're not really living, number one. And if you fail in that risk, it's okay. Get up, dust yourself off, and take another one, because that brings happiness and opportunities for growth.
So if the economy wasn't this bad, that opportunity wouldn't be there. So being able to see what opportunities there are, no matter the environment, is important, I think.
And lastly, what advice would you give to others who are a little reluctant to take chances or risk? What should they consider if they want to try to take more chances
risk,
in life?
there's no big opportunities. So you have to be willing to take risks in life to avail yourself to the opportunities, and it would be a very boring life not to take any risks.
I would surround myself with people that maybe do what they can't do right now. In other words, if you're hanging out with people that just sit around, or they're afraid to go forward, that's going to come back to you. Try to find somebody that's doing what you think you want to do and mimic them. Fake it till you make it, so to speak.
Okay.
Get some advice, and that's all I can say.
What advice do you have to someone else who might not be that big of a risk taker to help them feel a little bit more comfortable taking chances in their life?
I mean, I feel like if you don't take any chances and you play it safe your entire life, you're going to miss out on a lot of what life's about, because a big part of taking chances is seeing new things and having new experiences that shape you as a person, and learn more about people on the earth, and everything else, everything.
Well, Zach, I thank you for your time today. I appreciate your thoughts on taking chances, and wish you well back in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And your work
Yep.
going forward.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Karen, I thank you on this fine sunny afternoon for sharing your thoughts on risk. And again, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Ken, it was great thoughts and a beautiful sunny day. I thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Well, Jill, I thank you for your thoughts and time today. It was greatly appreciated.